Interior Designer of the Year in 2023.
I remember my first encounter was like superheroes movies, Superman, Star Wars. It was always like my dream to do something that cool. Maybe create my own superheroes. If I want to design something, it's really hard to build. And that's when I start doing something called design and build. There is one big project that really stand out in my career, which is it was an entertainment park, 5,000 square meter in Dubai Mall. We designed the place based on a concept of Inception, the movie by Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. For this project, we got awarded overall winner for the SPID Design Awards in the UK.
Hello, Inners community. My guest today is a design maestro who once dreamt of sketching superheroes, yet ended up crafting super spaces that tell stories. Born in the artistic landscapes of Europe, he answered his true calling amidst the architectural wonders of the Middle East. His journey is a testament to passion, perseverance, and the power of vision. Recently awarded the coveted title of the Interior Designer of the Year, the one and only Firas Alsahin. Welcome to the Inners.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you, my fellow men in black today. I don't know what gave me away. I just left my cape at the door. Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity, Ali. It's gonna be amazing.
It's our privilege to have someone of your caliber and such a brilliant mind as yourself.
I'm privileged as well. Thank you so much.
And now we need to hear it from the maestro himself. Please tell us, who is Firas Alsahin?
Okay, Firas is he's the co-founder and design director of Force-Based Design. Okay. We are an interior and architectural design company that design for places where people eat, live, shop, sleep, and work. Okay. This is like in a few words, and yeah, this is what we do.
Interesting. So is it an interior design or interior architecture?
Yes, we would love to say interior architecture, because it's more like a broad term for what we do. Okay. Because architecture, it's sometimes beyond what it's like buildings and building towers and develop plans and master plans. So yes, interior can be architecture.
Let's rewind back, I don't know how many years ago, a few years ago, to your childhood, if we can ask, and go back to that place.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Germany.
Okay.
In West Germany, long time ago. I'm that old. And I was like raised in, let's say, maybe German ethics. So machinery and like mechanicals and building things was like, this is what I grow doing. Like, for example, building blocks was part of my childhood. So like using Legos and spending my time building things. Beside that, I was like exposed for the early sci-fi movies at that time. So I remember my first encounter was like superheroes movies, Superman, Star Wars. So I was always fascinated with this kind of like amazing architecture and scene sets and designs. So like I go back to my toys and start building things, sketching things. So even if there's a sort of toy is not available to me, if it's not in reach of my hand, I build it myself. I find a way. So it was always like my dream to do something that cool. I don't know, maybe design a movie set, maybe a comic book, maybe create my own superheroes. So I always dreamt that I want that guy who really do make stories through sketching, through design, and through building things. So I spent all my life having this passion. I spend more time indoors doing this stuff more than just like being active and play sport. I was that kind of geek in a way. So I get to a point where I need to continue my studies. So I chose back then to go to fine arts, only to pursue the future or the career of being a comic artist. So going to fine arts was my only gateway to being a comic artist. Then I was introduced to interior design because it was a subject, and I was like fascinated about the things that really you can transform, right? And transform things was also some kind of a passion for me, because at that point, Transformers, the movie, came to life. I was like, okay, that's something cool. What if we can have really design spaces that can really transform, or like can be something in disguise more than what you see beyond the eyes? So, and then I was like in the college, I used to be good. I was be first on my class, and the things that evolve. I got a very nice opportunity when I was in the third year to get my first job to design like a shoe shop. I remember this was my first job, and I was so proud of it. I finished it in a very good time. The result was amazing. It was a humble beginning, of course, but I was so proud. And I get this attention from the surrounding. I was like, okay, that's good. That can be something that I can make a living out of, and at the same time I can enjoy it. And yeah, so this is how like I pursue my career through the college. And then once I finished my college, I opened a small studio myself, and I started taking like few jobs here and there. And every single job I took back then, I was like, I wanted to be unique. I want to be different. I want for people to look at it, and the impression that I want them to have is like, how did he came up with this? What he was thinking? Where does the inspiration come from? Inspiration comes sometimes from the silly sources. You never know. Sometimes you see something on TV, a book you read, or you never know what really triggered this moment of inspiration. Yeah. So this is, and then the whole thing started after university, when I started like having my own studio, and then I partnered with some creative mind as well, and we made like a perfect couple, right? We were invincible, and we started designing great things together. And yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Like a fascinating story already.
I really appreciate it.
And I'm sure we're going to hear more exciting stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, being probably from the same era, and I remember I used to play with Transformers, and that was in the 80s.
How cool is that?
So our audience could guess if they do the math. I hope they have better math skills than mine, that we are not in our late 20s, obviously.
Come on, we are.
We have the inner child always inside of us.
Yeah.
So, but what is like being a comic artist? When you're aspiring to be one, what did you have in mind?
So the thing is that, look, back then, the resources were a bit limited. Even like for me, when I was a child, to have access to the amount of comic books that I really wished to have back then, it wasn't that great. So I had to do my own. I had to go get back to like Spider-Man maybe, and I create my own story. And I design my own comic books using, of course, paper and pencil, right? But with everything, with the text, with the script, and And yeah, and I start circulating this magazines with my friends. And I used to go, the photocopy machines, the big bulky one. So I used to go to a copy machine far away from where I used to live and do copies and distribute it with my friends. And this is when I thought, okay, this is something cool. People like it, like to read it. So this is what I wanted to do.
Wow. And I'm sure we can see that in your creations now.
Yeah, definitely. So again, I was like, you still sense the essence of the influence of like reading a lots of Marvel books and DC comics, the backgrounds, the way that because I'm good on sketching, I was like in university when I used to illustrate my projects, they used to look like a comic, right? Especially with the black and white, and because back then the way that we render our work, we didn't have like 3D rendering. It's all your skills. And of course, through time, through years, this kind of skills kept evolving. And I remember I used to do like the ink, right? The ink pen illustrations.
Yeah.
And then this evolved to something more like a watercolors. And then something cool happened, which is the airbrush. And it was an amazing technology. It was technology back then because like using airbrush and do all the volumes and render the way that you render. And that's of course, because I kept getting disrupted with new technology every time. And I'm the kind of guy that would like to learn new things. And the day that I saw 3D modeling and rendering, this was a game changer. When I started learning how to 3D model, I said, "Oh my God, this a lot of crazy thing that you can do in using computer, right?" And CGI was quite new. I remember my first encounter with CGI, and that's really evolved what I do in terms of design and made me love it more, because when you model something and you try different options and different formations, they give you more possibilities. So then I was like thinking, okay, come on, let's be realistic. I'm not gonna be making any good living out of being a comic artist, not this part of the world, unfortunately. So then I said, okay, let's do interior design, let's do interior architecture. And then every time I design something, I was like, they should have this flair, just like the sci-fi effect. It should be there, even if something like a bit conservative or a bit classic, but yet it should have that kind of flavor that I would like to add in my designs.
And how did you eventually hone your skills and put it into realistic practice?
Yeah, that was a challenge, because look, the safest option to execute a good job is to have a safe design. But every time you have something more complex, right?
What does safe design mean?
Safe design, that's okay, something not challenging, let's say. Not safe, something more not challenging, right? Like a straight walls, straight ceiling, very basic. You go on a shopping quest, you choose furniture, you put a beautiful lighting, ta-da, and you have a design. I didn't want that. I don't want fancy stuff. I want to design something that's really hard to build. And that's when I started doing something called design and build. So I became more like a designer and a contractor in one certain time period of my life. Okay. I used to design and build. So I learned the craftsmanship. I had my own small joinery. So building things like without getting influenced by any contractor who says it can be done, it cannot be done. So I had the liberty to build what I design without someone telling me you cannot do that or you cannot do this. So this is what really encouraged me into design something more complex and challenge myself and challenge the people who works with me most of the time, and to provide something different.
So Firas, now we are in Dubai. How long you've been here?
Almost 12 years now. Oh, not yet, but almost.
And why did you choose to Dubai to be your next place of operations?
Yeah, so look, our eyes was always on this vibrant city, all the time. We were fascinated with what was happening, even as like 12 years ago. And we were lucky, we were privileged that we had some clients in Dubai, and we came back and forth, and we get to a point where I said, okay, we're gonna take a leap of faith, and we're gonna come and start a business here, me and Amjad. And although we had a business back home, but we chose that, okay, we want to take it to the next level. We want to do things differently. We want to be exposed more to the world, right? To the world, to the technology, to materials, to something more challenging, right?
Different cultures.
Different culture, of course. And we wanted to challenge ourselves and our ability to do something new, to something different. We want to step out from our comfort zone, right? To evolve, you have to do that. If you reach to a limitation in what you do, you need to take it to the next step, right? And that's by changing yourself and starting from scratch. I can tell you, it wasn't easy. It was a very bumpy ride. The day that we landed in Dubai, taking the decision that we moved the office here, we moved from an office that is over 20 people of team, and we chose to stop that. And we started from scratch completely with 2 people, which is me and my partner. We end up in 100 square meter office in GLT, totally empty, 1 table like this one, 2 computers, 1 printer, and 4 chairs only. So when we used to like have more than extra 2 people guests, we had to borrow chairs from our neighbors. But it was amazing because we, again, getting back to when you face disruption in your life, right? Whether you face disruption and you embrace the change or you give up. Back then we chose to embrace the change and challenge ourselves and start something new completely. We had to learn something completely different. We had to pitch our designs, to present our designs in a different language, right? Which we didn't have this before. We never been in that situation. We had to learn new skills, new terminology, right? I remember the first time I started like hearing words like MEP, LOD, DP, that's the first few meetings I had to just like Google things under the counter, okay, when someone just mentioning something in a meeting. But, and I used to go back because we weren't that busy. We didn't have that much work. I remember myself printing fit-out manuals and design manuals from developers and just read it, translate it. I used to sit with contractors, MEP consultants, and just listen because I want really to learn. So we were lucky that we were awarded our first project in Dubai. It was a restaurant. And we wanted to just like learn the whole thing from A to Z. So we were completely involved. I remember myself like do the design, 3D modeling, detail drawings. I used to clean the office, like taking out the trash, doing my own books. Amjad the same, my partner. So we touch on everything, on every aspect, on every single, the whole process of building a restaurant. Back then it was a restaurant project. The whole process, we touched on everything. We didn't have a team. We didn't even afford to have a team. But in that time, we had some desperate moments because, you have to provide yourself, for yourself, and for family, and for the business. And of course, you have bills to pay. I remember in a desperate moment, I started looking for a job because we couldn't be that busy, right? And back then we were willing to do anything, to work for any fees, only just like to keep ourselves busy. But again, I have a family. So I applied for a few jobs and no one wanted to hire me because I don't have the GCC experience. Regardless whether I was good in design or not, and I was really devastated, okay? And it's funny, some of them, they are companies that now today, they are my colleagues, or like they are companies that we compete with them on like a client level or an award level. So it's funny. I never mentioned that to them, of course, because I was like approaching big corporates back then. But maybe it was in my fate that I didn't get accepted. Yes. Because maybe if I was hired back then, maybe I'm not going to be sitting with you right now, right? It's the butterfly effect.
Rejection is your protection.
Exactly. I love that. That's really nice.
It protected you.
Absolutely.
And it led you to something
much,
much better, a greater place.
Thank you.
This is true perseverance and super inspiring for everyone to push through.
Yeah.
Hats off, Mr. Firas.
Thank you, Mr. Ali.
Can't wait to hear more of your story.
Yeah, of course. Look, it was really important for me back then is not to get discouraged in any way. Okay, because look, you meet people, they tell you that it's hard, you cannot do it, you cannot do this is not the right place to live. Maybe you have to live away from your office to just like save more money. Whether I thought back then that it's important for me to live close to my business because I want to save time. I don't want to waste my time commuting where I can use this time to just like learn something new or focus on my business. So, and it was really important for me back then that I want to be somewhere, right? I was ambitious and I always looked up very high, right? Even because I was following the industry. I started learning about the industry. I started learning about my competition, right? Back then, I couldn't even consider it as a competition, right? I was so far from there. But I thought, okay, I need to be there someday, right? What does it take for me to work harder, to design better? I should find a way to prove myself. So I thought, okay, how should I build a brand? Okay, how should I mark myself into the industry? Okay, so back then the internet was really important and Google search is really important. So I thought, okay, I have to be visible. Right? People need to see me, and this will be my advice for all the people all the new graduates, the freshmen, that they want to start a business. For all the startups, like if you really want to be seen, be seen. Provide visibility for yourself. Have your own DNA. Let's call it your digital footprint, right? Yes, yeah. So when someone is looking for an amazing podcast, okay, they need to find Ali. If they need to find a great designer, they need to find, I don't know, me or X or Y or Z, right? You should be there. Wherever a client is looking, you have to pop up, right? Maybe you can start very modest. This is something you build by time. But even I tell my clients who has like this amazing restaurant, right? I tell them all the time, if you have the best design, the best place the best vibe and the best food. But if people cannot find you, right, there is no visibility to the business. What's the point, right? That's why investing in marketing back then was really important. So you need two aspects, two pillars. You need a very great product and you need a very great visibility to this product. If you have an amazing product but no one sees it, what's the point? Of course, you're going to tell me referrals, word of mouth, it's good, but it's not going to be enough for any startup.
What marketing strategy did you use?
Back then, I couldn't really afford any marketing agency. It started with blogging. So I asked our website developer to just make me a blog, which was totally something new to me. And I learned the new skills where you put this like keywords about the things that you have the visibility for. Back then, like Google, it wasn't that complicated. Not like now. Now it's very competitive. It's not easy, I know. That's why now there is a special companies who does that for you. Okay. But back then, if you really write an article about like restaurant or design trends, let's say, okay, for 20, I don't know, something, all right? And you have a good article that Google can rank it higher. If you can really convince like a magazine or like let's say another blog or like a design awards magazine or anyway, to feature this article, right? To write a piece for them, it will even rank higher. And then when people will gonna search for like, let's say restaurant design, cafe design, residential design, you should pop up. This is how people they found you. And then once they have access to you, they look at you and they look at the job. If they can find the chemistry through your designs and through your product, you are halfway there. Okay? So it's gonna only just drive you to a point where you have a meeting, and that's up to your skills. Your selling skills, your like convincing skills, I don't know what you call it. But again, it's all about chemistry. You have to build the chemistry with the person that is in front of you. Right? If he feels like, okay, the chemistry is there, you can work together and you can make amazing things together.
Interesting perspective.
Thank you.
What happened next?
So what happened next? So within this 12 years, from 2 people to 20.
So that's it. Do you still have that table and 2 chairs?
I think yes, that's in the storage somewhere. It's dismantled and placed in the storage.
So now you have
it's
a team.
Sentimental. I cannot really throw it away.
Of course they are. Yeah. Hence the question. So now you are a team of 20 people.
Yes.
And how many projects so far?
Oof. The last time I checked, I think there were like 14 projects. Okay, ongoing. We have a few things in the pipeline. Okay. It's been finalized soon, inshallah. And I think we already now delivered over 200 projects already.
200 projects?
Yes, I know.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, Ali.
And that came through mastering your craft.
Yes, and load of coffee.
And lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee, yeah.
And sleepless nights.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
How about the part which is not design, which is managing a team and running a business?
Yeah, so look, this was really, really challenging because back then I didn't have the experience. I had the experience to lead a team, but not in this region, not in Dubai. Okay. So, and I wasn't really easy to be handled because I know all the process. So if someone tells me that this kind of task is gonna take this time, I will know, right? Since I I'm a techie person. I do 3D modeling. I do detail design. I'm totally involved, so hands-on. So it took me some time really to hire the right team. And of course, there was like, again, it was a bumpy ride. I went through some bad decisions, but since I was totally involved, me and Amjad, it was totally fine. Business-wise, I can tell you my partner, he's a businessman. He's an amazing designer, yet he's a better businessman than me. I'm the design freak in the company. So I prefer to spend my time behind the screen and like drawing and sketching more than taking care about like numbers and the flow of the company.
Fair enough.
Guilty.
Then we go back to the design part.
Yeah.
What's your design philosophy?
Oh my goodness, I kept getting this asked, but I don't know whether it's a philosophy, more like it's a gut feeling, So sometimes when I am about to design a place, right? First of all, it's all start with the imagining the space. I don't know, the minute I get into the space, I imagine it in a way, right? Then I dream about it most of the time. And then when I start the design process, I try things, right? And there always should be, for each project, there will be an inspiration coming from somewhere, right? Sometimes if I want to design something, I don't get straight away to the design. Maybe I go to Netflix first. I don't know, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I cannot say that there's a philosophy, but I like to be different.
Design approach.
Yes, our design approach is more like to be unique, to be different, to have a DNA, right? So, and I got that from clients. I got some feedbacks that we have something called the four-space DNA. Right?
Indeed, you do.
Yeah, thank you. This is the way.
It's like in fashion brands as well. When you see it, you know that it's from this brand or this design, or even in cars, when you see, as you mentioned, a Marvel versus DC, and you would know.
Yeah, different flavor.
Know. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Individuality is.
Yeah, if you can call it this way.
So Firas, out of those 200 projects, do you have a project that made an impact, first of all, on you and also on your clients?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Ali. Thank you for mentioning that, because there is one big project that really stand out in my career, which is it was an entertainment park, 5,000 square meter. There is one big project that really stand out in my career, which is it was an entertainment park, 5,000 square meter. Back then, we still didn't hear about the metaverse, by the way. And we designed the place based on a concept of Inception, the movie by Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. So the idea was that the whole downtown or part of Dubai is upside down, and we implemented that in the facade, and there was like upside down Burj Khalifa inside, like 30-meter tall upside down inside the place. And it was a very, very cool place, and just like taking the gaming experience into something more virtual, that's something that was totally new, and it was really, really like everything happening in Dubai. It was like always more than a few steps ahead, and it was an amazing project, and we really enjoyed it. And this project, of course, we, like any other project, we like to submit it for awards, and then for this project we got awarded overall winner for the SPID Design Awards in the UK. And it was marvelous.
Impressive.
It was on the cover, on the book, and it was like we were named overall winner. Dubai was all on the screens, and the photo of Burj Khalifa upside down was on the stage, and it was really an amazing moment. That's why I cannot ever forget that project.
Wow, I'm looking forward for your next projects that can eclipse this one.
Hopefully, there is something in the pipeline.
Great. And you just mentioned the metaverse.
Yes.
And I know that you're one of the most sought after keynote speakers when it comes to AI and the metaverse, and especially their implementation in the design industry. Can you
Yeah,
tell us more,
absolutely. So,
please?
look, this year I like to call it the year of AI for us. The year before, I would like to call it the year of metaverse. So, what did happen basically? You know, we all have been into lockdown, right? And we've been through COVID. I'm happy that we don't mention that a lot anymore in meetings and podcasts. So what happened basically when I was in lockdown, I was totally disconnected like everyone else, right? And I was like just doing normal stuff, watching Netflix, I don't know, just sitting on the balcony. But every time I went to my son, he was not that disconnected like me. Why? Because he was like his headset and he's playing games with his friends. And I was like, and I kept going to him like, you need to like reduce the amount of gaming, my friend. I said, I'm not playing, I'm not gaming. I'm just like talking to my friends. I said, how come? Because they said, we are into something like a lobby called the lobby. That's the place before you go into the game and you all gather with a friend and you can talk for hours. And then it hits me. And then it's like, okay, can I try that? I said, yeah. Okay, so I joined my son and my friends. And the funny thing that when I started gaming back then, I was like, I end up buying virtual stuff like skins, characters, like tools, right? And I used virtual money to buy virtual assets or like virtual stuff. I said, okay, there is something happening here. This is like a business. This is a place where, and then we start doing meetings and Zoom meetings and team meetings, and we start getting connected online, and this started like rapidly evolving in a way that we became all virtual, right? And then start like, okay, then I heard the term metaverse, right? So I said, okay, I start feel like gaming is a metaverse. Our meeting is happening in some sort of a metaverse. It's like the new internet, right? So I said, okay, I want to explore more. I want to learn more. Then I started our own NFT collections and we made it about furniture. We started to create some virtual spaces for clients on some like different names of virtual worlds, and we invested a little bit of crypto, and then we get to a point where start things really interesting and people start getting into it. And when the world start getting back to normal and the big crypto crash happened, so the things about the metaverse, the hype, let's call it, start like getting reduced. So if someone asked me, is the metaverse gone? It's not going to happen? I said, okay, look, maybe the metaverse was like overrated in a very short term, but I believe it is quite underrated on a long term, because we're going to get to a point where things going to be a little bit virtual, and most of us or all of us, we're going to get to a point where we're going to own some own of a virtual asset. Or maybe we're going to start doing contracts as NFT. Because NFT eventually it's a ledger, right? It's a smart contract where you put a piece of information, okay, on a blockchain, right? It may sound a bit techy, but it is like, imagine that you have a ledger where you put a piece of contract, okay, to protect it, right? This is NFT. To a point, it's a technology that we all, I believe, we're gonna benefit from. And then this year passed, and I was like lecturing and doing speech and keynotes about like the metaverse and like here and there. And then AI happened.
Okay.
And artificial intelligence made the whole hype about metaverse like nothing. It was really more interesting. And if you now dig deep into the world of artificial intelligence, you see that even if you want to build a metaverse in the future, you cannot do it without AI, because it's going to help you a lot. It's going to make your work easier. But the AI has a different side. Okay, let's say the good side or the dark side, right? The good side, that if we think about the metaverse as a tool, as a very, very useful tool, it's going to help you do things. It's going to help you design. That's why I like to call this year, it's the year of the AI. Because this is where I started using AI, or like challenging AI, and to help me design or help me getting inspired, right? If you ask any designer, when he wants to design something, he goes to a source of inspiration, which usually is like Pinterest, Google search, Instagram, right? This is the places where you find your inspiration. But what if I told you that I can give you Jarvis, who is the AI of Iron Man, okay? And you are the mastermind, Tony Stark, but you have Jarvis to help you design the suit or help you save the world, right? It's just a help. It's just a tool. So using AI, I started like talking to the machine and ask him to, how do I imagine things? Okay, let's say I imagine the space for like an F&B purpose. I imagine the ceiling is parametric. I imagine the colors this way. I imagine the furniture is contemporary, inspired by this designer, inspired by maybe a movie or a theme or a culture or Victorian or Georgian. And the outcome is really interesting. And what really hit me that, okay, these images, although they are only images, they are quite unique, right? Even if you want to Google search this image, it's totally curated for you, completely. Okay, so like, let's try this on clients. So I started like, in the design process, in the beginning, design direction, instead of using images from other designers, okay, I start like crafting this cool renderings using AI, Midjourney. Said, okay, it helped me to build the chemistry better now, right? Okay, and client said, I remember there's one client, I show him one, I said, yeah, this is a design direction. If you are okay, now we can proceed with the design. I said, no, I want this one. I said, but this is not the design. Yeah, but I like this one, I want the same. I said, okay, can I tell you the truth? This is designed by a robot, right? I told him, I was totally like transparent, right? This is based on a prompt that I fed the machine, and this is what they gave me. I'm gonna design something inspired, but we'll see. I said, like, wow, that's really super cool. So, and then I started like trying to encourage people to use AI more, because the dark side was really scary of AI, right? Of course, people start getting concerned that we're gonna lose jobs. AI is gonna take our take opportunities from the market. And I kept saying, yes, maybe AI is gonna replace someone, but you cannot replace someone who uses AI, right? So better to use it, better than run in fear and just freak out. Just like, okay, embrace it, use it as a tool. It's a very useful tool. And rather than like spending time Googling and searching about the effect of AI and how bad it is, better of like search how this can benefit your business, regardless what kind of business you are, right? And I believe now people, they can, of course, definitely, I am not in a place where I can really highlight the bad implementation or the bad use. We heard a lot about like deep fake and pranks and like scams is happening because of AI, definitely. But like any other technology, right? There is always a dark side. It's about how you use it. Can we blame the world of computers? Because I am the one of people that started doing drawings by hand. And I remember there was used to be a draftsman. The word draftsman used to be someone who drafts drawings in hand. But when AutoCAD happened, so those guys, they lost the job. But can I say today it's a bad thing that like CAD is invented? Can we like blame the world for the calculator, for the tractor, for iPhone? Definitely not. So it's evolution, it's disruption. We keep getting disrupted with new technology all the time. So we need to...
You make a very compelling argument.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. Excellent. So 2 weeks ago, something very, very important happened.
Oh my God.
At the Commercial Interior Design Awards. You were awarded the Interior Designer of the Year in 2023.
Yep.
Another congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
well
you so
deserved.
much, Ali.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Can you tell us more about that award and acknowledgement, what it felt to you and to your team?
Okay. That was really overwhelming moment, by the way. I really didn't expect it. And I did expect it. No, of course, look, when you apply for such an award, for such a position, right? Of course, we have ambition that you want to win it, right? Or you in your gut feeling, you know that you deserve it in a level, right? But again, the caliber was amazing. The other design was amazing. We like, it was really competitive. And this is by the way, and this award, it was the thing that was my eye was on it the day that I landed here. When I started like understanding the industry, and it's like, there's awards for designers? That's really amazing. I was like, okay, someday, one day, I want to be there. So I worked hard, right? And I was lucky that a very esteemed judges and entities, they picked up this. They saw what I did and they respected what I did. And we went to the awards before the big announcement, like we get awarded another 2 awards, one for F&B and one for retail. And they were always, they weren't expected. And we were so happy and was like so satisfied at that point, right? But when they announced the final award of the night, and it was like I was awarded, I don't know how to describe my feeling. How did I made my way to the stage? I had a speech. I don't know what I said. I was like, I don't know. It was ridiculous. I don't know. But it was really overwhelming. It meant a lot. The thing is, what is really important about this award, I cannot take the full credit for myself. I had an amazing people behind me who really get me there, who supported me. I had an amazing team and clients. They had very high tolerance to my creative moments. I wasn't easy, but really, you can say it's a reflection for a collaborative effort with the team, with the clients, with the industry, with friends and family. And yeah, I cannot take full credit for myself. And I'm so grateful, Ali.
That's really, really impressive. Perseverance, consistency, tenacity, dedication demands respect. And this is a great sign of respect, being awarded by all of the design community in Dubai. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you.
Now we'll come to the point where we have to ask you 8 quick rapid-fire questions.
Okay.
To close our session today. Okay, brace yourselves.
Hit me.
Question number 1.
Okay.
What is your favorite dish?
Okay, look, I'm not that of a foodie, but I crave a burger, a very decent, nice burger once in a while.
Who is your favorite band, artist, musician?
Okay, look, I really used to really like Michael Jackson. This guy is creative and he always presents something different.
True. Who is your favorite designer or architect?
Zaha Hadid, no question. Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
God bless her soul.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh, okay. Movie. So, The Matrix. Yeah, blue pill, red pill.
Which one would you choose?
Which one was to take you to the Matrix? The red pill, of course.
The red pill.
Yeah.
What is your favorite TV series?
That will be Lost. Time travel, island, smoke monster.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, look, the favorite. It's not my favorite, but I can say that this book really give me some perspective and some sort of like in a period of my time. The Secret. Yeah. The Secret just like make me think about the laws of attraction and to look at something that you really want and to get it. I didn't know that it's a method or it's a law, right? So reading The Secret, and I was young when I read The Secret for the first time, changed a little bit of my perspective.
What's your favorite animal?
I have 2 cats.
Okay.
Yeah, so cats, definitely.
I'm a cat dad myself. I have 2 cats as well. What are the names of your cats?
I have Zayn, that's the older one, and I have Coco.
Zayn
Coco,
and
because he
Coco.
looks like a coconut.
The last question.
Okay.
All good things must come to an end, and this is the last part of our very interesting episode today. What is your favorite city?
Look, by all means, it's Dubai. Dubai, this vibrant city, I believe it's a place for dreams to happen, right? Because there is no boundaries here. There is no limitation for what you can really achieve. And the immense support that you can get from UAE is amazing. Because my whole career, I told you, it's a bumpy ride and I went through challenges. But the only thing that I really didn't need to worry about is regulations or like any limitations. I felt supportive the whole year. And again, since you are in a very important country and you are exposed to different nationalities, different realms, different words, and you get anything what you want, like in a click, right? Everything is smart. And you know what's really the most interesting part? You know, I don't know if you get this feeling when you go to Europe, okay, you go to the UK and you spend the most beautiful vacation. But you know this feeling when you are just landing in Dubai? You know this feeling that,
Absolutely.
oh my God, I
do.
miss this city? This is...
I had it just last night. I just came back from spending 2 weeks in Europe.
And you
I
miss it
absolutely
already.
do. Dubai is home.
It is home.
We are very grateful of being here. And as you said, there's no glass ceiling for growth and opportunity. And you have the proper foundation and infrastructure. And also when it comes to regulation, and it's simple. You do the job, you do it the right way, you be creative, you go the extra mile, and you will be rewarded and awarded. And congratulations again on your awards.
Thank you so much, Ali.
Accomplishments, and the best is yet to come. And thank you very much for taking the time and inspiring us with your stories. I hope this will make a difference to a lot of aspiring designers and startups and brilliant minds and creatives as you are. And we're looking forward to having you in the future for more sessions. Thank you for being part of the Inners. Firas Alsahin, best of luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Ali, for having me in this amazing community. I'm so proud to be part of the Inners. I wish you all the best in your journey. And I believe that you are doing something really, really amazing. And I'm so honored and privileged to be part of it.
Thank you very much. The honor is mine.
Thank you, Ali.
All the best. Hello, Inners community. Hope you enjoyed this session. We'd like to know your comments and thoughts. Most importantly, please do share the episodes and the micro content. The purpose of this podcast is to exchange experiences and share knowledge and raise awareness. So be part of the change. Create your waves. Let the ripple effect reach to everyone, where all of good action comes full circle. And please do remember to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I'll see you next session.